All right, I think we're better now. Hopefully. Looks that way. Morning. I think we're all right. We'll wait for some people to jump in. Everything looks better on my end. I don't know what that was all about. And we're back. How's everyone going? How's everyone doing? What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back. I gotta delete that other live stream on the channel now. Delete. All right. Well, hopefully we get some people in here today. I think it'll still be findable, even though we had to restart it. Welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Nice. What I do this weekend was with the family this weekend, so it was good. Good weekend with the fam. Always good. Always a good time. Good morning, everyone. Computer was like, not today. Yeah, I was dropping frames when I just started it. So I don't know. Just had to do a little reset. All right. Good day from Australia. Hello from Australia. Is F1 back this week? When's F1 back? F1 is back. Why can't I find it? F1 schedule. August 27th. Damn, we still got another weekend. Yeah, sucks, man. I hate this. I hate the F1 break. F1 break. I miss watching. Good morning from Naples, Florida. Hello, Mike. How's it going? Meta was below. Yeah, Meta is looking. There's some nice setups today. There's definitely some nice setups today. So I guess let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Welcome back, everyone. August 14th, 8:05 a.m. New week, new opportunities. Let's go ahead and make it a good week. So here's the schedule. You know we're here for the schedule. Futures economic earnings calendar. Let's go ahead and pull up the earnings calendar for the week because there are some interesting ones to watch out for. There's some important companies, not tech, but important companies nonetheless. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Here it is here, so you guys can see. Today, really nothing on the earnings side. You got Rumble, which is an interesting one. But really, it's all about this week. Home Depot is very big. That will be something I watch there. OnCloud, I'm interested to see how OnCloud does. I do like their shoes, so we'll see what OnCloud does. But Home Depot, definitely big. Target's big. Walmart's big, right? So you got some retailers stepping in. So it looks like it's the week of retailers, right? And so something to watch, right? You got Home Depot, Target, Walmart. The three big ones are really this week. Cisco, something you could watch. Not really something I'd watch, but yeah. Home Depot, Target, Walmart, three big retailers. You got some other retailers mixed in. TJX, TJ Maxx, Ross. What else you got in here? What are some other retailers I see here? That's about it. So, yeah, big week of P&W reporting earnings Friday after close. Is that even? I don't know if that is possible, Chris. If it is, that's new to me. Unless that was a joke. Yeah, so some retailers there. I guess Home Depot tomorrow morning is going to be big. Target the day before, and then Walmart Thursday. Three big ones for retailers. Will definitely have some influence on the retail sector for sure. All right, so let's keep an eye on that. We got to pull up the economic calendar. Take a look at that to start the week. We do have FOMC minutes this week. So that will be an important one to sort of keep your eyes on. FOMC minutes. You guys can see right here, Monday, that's today, nothing scheduled, so that's good. Tomorrow, retail, U.S. retail sales. Obviously, retail, including auto, excluding auto, that's at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Import price tomorrow morning. So nothing, I mean, this is not like market moving, but, something to watch. Important. Probably see some volatility on it. Wednesday, housing starts, building permits, FOMC minutes. So right there, that's probably your biggest one of the week, even though the minutes never really, the minutes are never, unless something really changes in the minutes, then it's really sort of a non-event. But you guys can see right there, FOMC minutes Wednesday, Thursday, jobless claims, and then nothing on Friday. So not too crazy of a week on the economic side. You got really the highlights of the week is retail sales and FOMC minutes. That's just about it. And then you have jobless claims every Thursday anyway. So FOMC minutes Wednesday. Tomorrow, retail sales. Nothing scheduled today. All right. Back into the schedule. Tesla, it's a big break this morning on Tesla. This 240 break is definitely important. This could be a really nice watch today. I am definitely looking for downside on Tesla under 240 today. So big watch for me. I want to sort of point that out today. Nvidia 420 break. This is also an important break from last week. This was a really nice downside trade that I took on Friday. Nvidia breaking retest of 420. This was sweet, right? Had that trade actually recorded live. You guys saw that on probably Instagram. Yeah, this was a sweet trade. Let's go ahead and review this 420 breakdown on Nvidia. Meta 304, big level today as well. Two stocks that have been relatively strong on the tech side is Amazon and Google. If you guys have been watching those, Amazon and Google continue to outperform after their earnings reports. So interesting, right? If there is any flip on this market to the upside, I would say Amazon and Google would be the two to watch. So Amazon, Google have been outperforming. AMD continues to be just a really weak stock, and it's sliding into its 100 SMA. The other stock that's sliding into its 100 SMA is Apple. It's flatlined at the 100 SMA. This is something to watch, Apple and AMD. And then finally, Microsoft, another stock at its 100 SMA. So some big tech stocks moving into some big levels, big moving averages, something to be watching here. Yeah, I think that's the schedule so far today. I'm liking some setups today for sure. I see some very clean potential trades already. So let's go ahead and sort of review. Let's go ahead and review that, and let's make some money today. NASDAQ. Why you start with NASDAQ but not me? All right. So first things first, let's just sort of review the overall NASDAQ action since, let's just sort of zoom out and take a look at this action since Wednesday of 2 weeks ago, right? Let's just make sure we remember, right, the bigger picture, as of now at least. Every upside move that we have seen on this market for almost a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now, has been sold into, right? So let's remember that, right? Every pop that you have seen has been sold into. So I come into today with that same mindset. Until the market has shown me something different, I will continue to come into the day with the same mindset of upside moves being sold into. So I am really not interested in upside until the market shows me some type of reason to be interested in upside, right? I'm not going to try to guess when this little slow downside grind, eventually moves back higher. There will be a day where this slow downside, there will be some kind of shock day that maybe, shorts get squeezed out and there's a little bit of a squeeze maybe up here, which maybe gets sold into again. But there will be some type of day that squeezes where, some shorts get stuck in this, late shorts that are maybe shorting at too low of levels, maybe shorting into 15,000. There will likely be some kind of squeeze at some point here. However, I'm not going to sit around and wait and hope for that type of move. What the market has shown me over the last week and a half is just a slow grind to the downside, every push being sold into aggressively. So I'm going to keep that mentality, right? That's my mentality stepping into today. As we can see this morning, we are already seeing that on the NASDAQ futures. So this morning, around 4 a.m., you got a big push to the upside on the NASDAQ, right? I think it was around that, it might have been on that Tesla news, or that Asian market news about Tesla. I don't know if that's exactly what caused that, because you saw the HSI, HK, I think that was it that, or was it the NKD? Yeah, there was some kind of reaction here at 4 a.m. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but that's besides the point. You saw the reaction at 4 a.m. on the NASDAQ, straight to the upside. And where did it push into? It pushed right into the previous lows here, and it pushed right into this Friday pre-market high, this little Thursday, Friday pre-market low, right into this 15,225 supply on the NASDAQ futures. So you got a big pop. What happened? You sold right into it, right? You sold right back into it. So that's very clear, right? So you can see big pop to the upside. We got sold right back into it, right? And you can see that every push has just been continuing to stay weak. Now, we can see we have some previous lows here from both Wednesday and Thursday, which we want to make sure we have marked out, which was also that very key rejection point from Friday. That's a next level that we actually just broke here in the morning, right? You guys can see right here. We have this low from Thursday, or from Wednesday. We have this low from Thursday. We have that rejection point. Look how clean this was on Friday. We have that rejection point that stepped in on Friday. So Wednesday, Thursday lows, 15,145, 15,150. We got back below that again. So in my eyes, right, as I step into this market today, there is absolutely no reason or no way I could be long here, both back into 15,150 and back into 15,225, right? I don't want to be long into those levels. So I will look for supply rejections of that 15,150 today. I will look for a supply rejection of that 15,225, right? And I will stay on the side of what's been occurring, right? I will stay on the higher probability side, which is, as of late at least, any pop is getting sold into, right? That's the side I want to be in on if that's what's happening on this market. So those are the two levels I'm watching for rejections, this 225, this 150. If we get too far, if we start moving lower aggressively, you have to be careful of chasing the downside, right? Be careful of chasing this downside towards this 15,000 level on the NASDAQ. Here's why. If I zoom out, right, and I go to the 4-hour chart, we do have to be careful of being short into this 15,000 zone, right? Look at the 4-hour here. 15,000 on the 4-hour, definitely some potential support in that area. Also a very key psychological level, 15,000 on NQ, right? So you do want to be careful, right? You want to be careful shorting the lows. It's still not shorting the lows is never a good strategy, no matter if the market's trending lower or not, right? It's not a good strategy. You don't short the lows. You short the supply rejections, right? You need the pops. You need the morning pops. You need the bull traps, right? The bull traps have been very apparent and I don't want to say easy, but they've been very easy. I can't say easy. They've been noticeable. That's the word to say, right? Bull trap, morning bull trap. Right, bull trap, morning bull trap. These morning bull traps that get faded into, that's the move you want to short into, right? We're not out here shorting the lows, even though the market is moving lower, right? So if you by the time you're looking to enter a trade today, let's say you missed the early morning move today, it's 10 o'clock, it's an hour into the market, it's 10:30, hour into the market, and the market's trading back here, right? That doesn't mean you're trading at the low. You're taking a low and, you're taking a short at the lows. That's not what this market is, right? Because no matter if the market's trending lower or not, shorting at the lows, you expose yourself to that little demand hold, which could absolutely come in around this 15,030, 15,000 area, right? So 15,030, 15,000 area down here. Be careful of being short into that level, right? I will not be shorting at these lows. I will look to play shorts at 15,150. I will look to play shorts at 15,225. And hell, if we even move higher, I would love to look for shorts up at this 50 SMA, 15,300 area, right? That's another area that I would look for that fade to come in at. So looking for those pops into some of these supplies. That's really my main watch this week. As of right now, we can clearly see some of these levels, previous lows, previous rejections, rejection this morning, 15,225 and 15,150. All right, that's what I'm watching, at least for now. There's so many more levels above that we could watch, right? But I'm just not talking about them because we're not quite there yet. But I mean, there's this level above, right? We can clearly see that, 15,430. There's this high up here, 15,500. There's a 20 SMA up here, 15,540, right? There's so many rejection points to the upside. Every time we push up, you just continue and continue to see these rejections come in, right? Look, rejections possible at 340. Rejections here at 430. Rejections up here at 500. Rejections possible at this 225, right? And now this 15,150, which has already failed this morning. So you got to get, in my opinion, your best risk-reward trades, if you're going to trade downside, is you need to wait for the morning pops, the bull traps into supply, right? Shorting the lows is not a profitable strategy, even in a downtrending market, right? So we still need that risk-reward. We still need those fake pops into supply to get our nice short entries. QQQ. The major level, in fact, it's actually a very easy read on the QQQ. Here's what I'm going to say, right? Very easy read on the QQQ today. 369.50 SMA, right there. You guys see this yellow line? I'm going to make this a little bit heavier. There's your yellow line, real thick, THICC, thick, for you here on the screen, right? 369 and a thick 50 SMA. That is what you're watching here today, right? Look at the rejections that are already stepping in at that 369. If the QQQ is under 369, you could actually even probably push it down towards this 360, right? You see these previous lows here, like this 367, right? Look at even down here at this 367. Actually, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so we can... So you guys can see even right here, right? Look at this previous low. Look at this previous low. If the QQQ is under 369, there is absolutely no reason to be looking long. It's just a technical... you'd be doing a technical violation if you are long, if the QQQ is under 369, right? Look at this. You can clearly see... Actually, I want to make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to make this cleaner for us here. 369, right? I'm going to go ahead and make this red. It's going to clean this up a little bit. Make it look good for everyone. Look how clear, right, the stair stepping has been, right? Previous lows, we're under the previous lows. Previous lows, we're getting stuck under previous lows, right? So 369, 50 SMA. If we continue to trade below that 50, if we continue to trade below that 369, I would not be long here. I would want to stay short on any pop to the upside, right? Any push to the upside under 369 has a very good possibility of being faded back to the downside. If you trade back over 369, if you hold it into support, then that's where you could move to your next level, which is around the 372, right? And here's why I would also stay short under 369 and 372. Let me go ahead and explain that to you. Why would I want to be short in this whole area down here? Anything below 372, I have no interest in longs. Here's why. And I'm just staying on the side of the market, right? That's going to benefit me more than trying to take little trades against the market trend, right? I'm not interested in little 2-minute trends, 2-minute trades against market trend. I'm staying with market trend. Market trend is clear as day to the downside. and I will continue to short any pops that I see here. Here's why I will continue to play short even if we move above 369. Here's why right here. Previous highs, previous hold here, and a really clean fail of that 372 level here on the Qs, and a very clear shift in momentum on the QQQ, right? You guys can see right here. This 372 level on the QQQ was a must-hold level for the Qs, right? This right here, 372, 372. It tried to hold from the 2nd of August to around the 8th of August, right? We tried to hold here multiple times at 372. We tried to turn that previous double top high into a support. We attempted it, right? And it could have been a nice long opportunity there. However, it failed, right? It failed, and it turned it into a very clean rejection, right? Look at this rejection here, this 4-hour wick rejection at 372 on the Qs. As long as the Qs are under that double top high from back here in June and late in early July, right? This is a very clear flip in market momentum, a very clear flip in market structure, right? The NASDAQ, the QQQ needs to be back above that previous high before you think this is going to move higher, right? That is a loss in momentum, and I'm not going to try to trade little upside moves back into that level, right? That could actually be the next very nice rejection point if we are to trade back into 372, maybe create a little head and shoulder formation here, right? This could actually be your next really nice fade opportunity on a push back into 372, right there. So just making sure you know the bigger picture, right? Making sure that you're paying attention to not just the 5-minute time frame, not just the 2-minute time frame, making sure you're paying attention to what the overall market is doing here. And this 372 break on the QQQ is important and must be paid attention to. All right. So QQQ 369, 372, big levels there, right? NASDAQ's clearly below that double top high. That's up here at 15,430, right? Some demand down at the 15,000 we talked about. Now, here's the ES, and here is some important areas to be watching on the ES, because the ES has been a little bit stronger. Right, the ES has been a little bit stronger than the NASDAQ, and here's why. So let's go ahead and zoom in to the, let's go hourly chart. Hourly chart's a little bit too, it's not as clean as, I really want to look at this on the 15-minute. Now let's go 30-minute here. So, all right, here's the ES 30-minute chart. And so what have we seen so far this morning, right? What are we seeing this morning that's really, really clear? We are seeing a clear as day 4,500 level rejection, right? Look at the rejection at 4,500 flat here on the market. This was a level that previously attempted to hold, and look at how clear we rejected 4,500 this morning on the ES, right? So when you see something like this, right, why am I long? Why am I even considering longs if the ES just nailed the 4,500 rejection, right? Why am I even considering playing to the upside when you see that type of reaction at 4,500 today, right? So the real long, right? The real long with actual confirmation, with actual continuation possibility is maybe a little squeeze over 4,500 for maybe a move into that 4,540, right? But until you see that, right, do not fight what you're seeing here, right? We just saw a very clear 4,500 rejection. We do not want to be long into that level. We want to look for that level to reject. If we get above it, then we can look for that flip. Now, the short side play is over, right? The short side play is already gone. That trade is gone. The short side trade was from here to here. And that's the unfortunate truth here on the ES as of right now. We're looking at probably, I want to say maybe a 45.70, 45.60, right? We're looking at a pretty tight range here on the ES. You can see 44.70, right? 44.70, 44.68 area. This little double bottom that was created on Friday and in the pre-market this morning. We're not going to be short into the lows, right? We're not going to short into the lows. If you didn't short it at 4,500, that short is now over, right? You need to get, now if you're going to look short today, you need to either look for a retest of 4,500 to look short at 45, or you need a break and hold below the Friday lows. So now it's just the channel, right? Friday lows, 44.70. You have this high around 4,500. You got yourself a 30-point channel. And, yeah, now you just watch, right? So 50 SMA is right here at 44.78. You guys can see right there, 50 SMA sort of, grinding higher, trying to hold this market higher. If we move under this 50 today, if we move under Friday lows, which is really down at 44.60, so I would be cautious of that, right? The exact lows from Friday are actually 44.60, so I would really want to see, right? If you take a short, let's say at 44.63, right? Because you're like, oh, it broke this pre-market low. Right? No, I don't like that, right? Because you might see something like this, and that's not what you want to be. You're not shorting into this, right? You short into this, you're dead. That's exactly what it showed you on Friday, right? You're not shorting into these lows. So if you're really going to get a short today, right, and you missed, if you're not going to short here, right, let me rephrase this. If you are not going to short here, then you sure as hell are not going to short here, right? If you want to look for another short, you need to see a very clear break and hold below this 44.60, right? You need to see this previous low from Friday turn into some type of a rejection. If you start shorting before that Friday low, you are exposing yourself to some nasty price action, and you've seen the way the ES has channeled, right? There is nothing stopping the ES from doing this today. Nothing. So do not be the guy that shorts into the lows, that longs into the highs. Please look at 4,500, look at 44.60, and just play the channel. That's all there is today. And wait and see if there's a channel break. SPY. All right, so here's the level I really wanted to talk about on this live stream. Here's, this is it, right? 444. 444 on the SPY. That is going to be, I think, the most important level to be watching probably all week. Anywhere between 444 and 442, that's really the level I'm monitoring. I'm actually going to put this down to the 50 SMA. Here's why, right? 444, 444. The double top, previous double top on the SPY, right? And what is that equal to? That's that 3-6, let me restart because I can't speak right now. That is the 372 level on the QQQ that was broken, right? You see this 372 level on the Qs? You see how we broke below it and now we were trading under? That is equal to this on the SPY, 444, right? So this is crucial, right? And if we get a break under 444, I think that potentially, right, opens the floodgates to more downside. If we do not hold this 444 level on the SPY, if we cannot maintain above this previous double top high and, attempt the thing that most people are trying to see at work, right? Most people are, hoping for this. I think a lot of people are hoping for this, right? They're hoping for a hold of this previous high, a little bull flag break, look to see if this really maintains, right? Get the shorts to sort of pile up here right into the exact wrong level, right? Because if shorts are piling up into 444, there is a possible, right? There's a possibility of shorts getting too aggressive here at 444, right? This maintaining and then squeezing to the upside. That is very possible. I think a lot of people want to see that happen. So just be cautious of wanting that before it actually happens because it's not happening yet. Be careful of setting that trade up before you see a real upside move in the market because that's clearly not happened. It's continuing to be sold into. But if we break under that 444, that I think is going to be very crucial on the SPY. So make sure you pay attention to that. Right? Make sure you pay attention to how we react here today. 444 in the SPY, 50 SMA below. Do not get short into this area, right? If you're going to short, again, wait for the morning pops. Look for the supply rejections. Look for the fades off of weak pushes to the upside. Do not short into the lows at 444 at the 50 SMA, okay? If you can get a nice clean break of this 50 and maybe some more slippage, then yeah, sure. But we're not going to be entering shorts here. We're not going to be the guys entering shorts here. We're not entering shorts here. We're not entering shorts here. And we're sure as hell not going to enter shorts here today after seeing all of this, right? That's just the definition of insanity. If you continue to try to short the aggressive downside move in this market, you have lost every single time. And what makes the idea of shorting here today into this level any different, right? Why is that any different today, right? Maybe it works out, right? Maybe you'll get the guy that comes in tomorrow and says, hey, I shorted at 444.50 yesterday and I made 30% on the downside. Well, you know what? It's not going to work the next time, right? You got to pay attention to these levels. Stay true to the levels. Be careful of being short into 444. If you can get a break under it, then look for the rejection play. But for now, that is definitely a major level all week that you were just sitting at this morning. All right? So very, very key there. 444. Keep an eye on it. Mike Jones. Yeah. I mean, a mess. Total mess. Look at this. That's some messy stuff right there. That is some messy stuff right there. I got nothing for you here. I got 35.1 to 35.2 to 35.6. That's all I got for you. Completely sideways. Russell. Same levels have been staying very true on the Russell, right? I don't touch these levels ever. 1940, 1920. These levels have been on these charts. Every time we open this thing every morning, I don't change a single thing. The charts just continue to stay very, very true to their levels. 1940, 1920, 20-point range on the RTY. That's all I got for you there. Look for a break above 1940. Look for a break below 1920. Until then, 20-point range. All right, let's continue. Tesla, I think this is money here potentially today, guys. I really do. This is a very big break. When did we talk about this, right? You guys remember volume profile, right? And we talked about the 240 break on Tesla. This, I think, is a very important break on Tesla. And it's off of some catalyst, right? It's off some news, which could make it even more fun to trade. Volume profile. I don't have much to say. I've talked about it probably every day. And here it is, right? Now we put our money where our mouth is. That's what we do now. We put the money where our mouth is. I don't think there's much support here on Tesla, to be quite honest, until maybe like this 217, 220 area. There might be some pops along the way, right? There's always going to be some pops along the way. It's not going to just go straight down for you without any type of emotional pops. But this is without a doubt a very important break below 240, a very important break of market structure. You're into low volume. We've seen this before. If you can't take this trade, then you can't trade at all, right? That's really the truth, right? If you can't get confidence in taking this trade, then you just can't be trading. You just got to move on to something else. This is just a trade you have to take, and you have to accept your loss if you're wrong. As long as Tesla is under 240, I am very interested in shorts today. I would love to get some type of push to the upside. I would really hope for some type of push to the upside. I don't want Tesla to just die here into open. That would really suck. We really want to see something of a pop. Maybe back into like this 238 Friday low, right? At least maybe something into 238 Friday low. Maybe we could get the dream would be 240, right? The dream would be a pushback in the 240, but I don't think you're going to get that. 238, 240, right? That is something I would be watching. Yeah. and just understanding the longer idea, right? If you take a Tesla short today, you have to be sort of paying attention to the longer term idea. You got to make sure you remember that longer term analysis. If you're going to take a short on Tesla and it pops to like $1 per share, right? And you see a little pop, and you're like, I'm out, instantly out, right? Then you're just not really paying attention to the larger term idea here, right? Because this could absolutely continue to slide. As long as Tesla's under 240, there is not much support here, right? And this could absolutely continue to slide. And I think this is where you try to build that longer term idea, right? You try to gain a little bit of longer term confidence on your trades because this is not support, right? That's not support. These are not important levels on Tesla. These are just squeeze levels that we just squeezed right through. We squeezed straight from 213 to 240 here in like 3 days, and this could absolutely be given up. So I would say this is how I would trade this personally. You scale down, you get into a position that you're comfortable in, don't panic, right? And as long as Tesla's under 240, I think you're in a really good position. Take some time, take a little bit of time on your contract, see if you can get this low volume area. There's probably some money to be made here. Obviously, trade at your own risk. This is not a guaranteed, win by any means. But as long as you're under this 240 level, I would assume this thing stays weak. And I would try your best to trust your analysis. That's how I think you want to play this. If you could get a bounce into 240, I would love that. Right? I would love a 240 bounce, and I would love to see it potentially retest this low right here. All right, if you could retest this low at 240, that could be a nice little reshort entry. Look at the daily chart here. Yeah, so, I just don't think that these daily candles are going to really give you much support. I think that you really need to come back to this previous high. Right, that's sort of where it's just a normal market action, right? Look at what Tesla's done previously, right? Let's all just take a second and zoom out. All right, look, big push, came back to that retest level. What happening here? Big push, and I think it's time, all right? You come back here again, and you probably do it again, right? This could be the downside on Tesla that pushes it into like the 350 level. All right, this is normal market action. There's nothing wrong with Tesla moving lower here. It's actually quite healthy. All right? It's actually still a very healthy chart. But this is just how the market moves. So that's something I'm watching. Tesla, I don't want to talk it up too much because, obviously it could go the other way. I could be wrong here. But there's some very clear things to be watching. And do your best. That's all I'll say. Do your best. All right. Nvidia, right? Nvidia. 405. I think very important here today. 405 on Nvidia is a pretty important level here in my opinion. So you can see that you have this previous 405 here. Little 405, little 405, little 405 dance over here. I think 405 is going to be your level to watch. If we go to the 15-minute chart, we can see 405 has acted as some type of a support here in the, from yesterday and in the pre-market today. Now, this is as clear as day, right? If we can get a little 405 pop today, I would be all over the shorts at 420, right? This would be a perfect break and retest rejection. You can clearly see the lows that were built at 420. You can see what happened when we broke the 420 lows on Friday. Awesome trade. Really textbook trade. Just as textbook as it's going to get on Nvidia from Friday. I have this trade recorded live. I actually posted it on Instagram if you guys want to check it out. We traded this with the group on Friday. This is just as textbook as it's going to get, right? You break, you reject the previous day lows, 420, beautiful downside. So if you do get that pop again, that's definitely the short side watch, right? Up at 420. Look for the supply to step in. If you break 405, though, right, and this thing doesn't have any strength, if you break 405, I think you come down to this 395 low right here. 395s, 395s, 395, that's really your next support. If you break 395 and this thing really starts to slide, right, you do have some downside here. And you still have, right, you still have a huge daily chart gap on Nvidia. Do we really get down to that level? We'll have to see, right? We'll have to see how aggressive this really could get. But Nvidia has been nothing but weak. There has been no strength here. Any pop has been heavily sold into, right? Pop, big sell into. Pop, sold into. No strength on Friday. No strength in the pre-market today. So I would absolutely be watching this 405 level today. If you break that 405, I think you come into 395. If you break 395, then I think maybe the party starts a little bit here on a 395 break. So first level to watch today, 405. If you can get any type of pop, then look to be short into that 420 level, right? If you can get a pop into 420, that's where I would look for the re-short, back at the 420 level. All right. Meta 304. This is also very important. If we go to the 5-minute chart, this is a pretty clear level here this morning. Here's the 5-minute on Meta. Here's 304. You guys can see right here, 304, 304, 304. What did 304 turn into on Friday? A clear rejection, break and retest, rejection, previous lows into new highs, right? That's as clear as day. As long as Meta's under 304, you look for rejections at that level. 304, look for rejections at 304. Support to watch, 300. A very, very easy little 4-point channel here on Meta today, right? 304 supply, 300 demand. If you break 300, if you turn 300 into rejections today, you look for more downside. If you pop into that 304, you look for a fade off that level. If you turn 304 into support, then maybe there's a little bit of upside to be had if the NASDAQ's strong. But very clear levels to watch here on Meta today. 304, 300. Not going to overcomplicate that. Amazon. So Amazon has been, I don't want to say strong, but it has been maintaining itself. And so this is something to watch. I would just say this, right? If Amazon is to hold here and you are to get some type of a squeeze on the NASDAQ, right? If we do get some type of upside squeeze on the NASDAQ anytime here in the next few days, maybe the next few weeks, this Amazon little bull flag could absolutely be your watch. But you need to be over 140. That's the prerequisite for this to work out. You need this to be over 140 before I think you want to take this trade, right? I think you need a day that holds over 140, right? It's not letting you join the Discord. The payment button's not working. Man, I don't know, man. I've never seen that happen. I'll look into it after, but that's probably a user error. I'm not going to lie. I've never had a payment button not work. But I will look into it after the stream. 140, you guys can see right here. 140. I think it is a necessity. It's necessary to wait for a day that not only gets above 140, but closes, right? I think you want a day that closes over 140 before you could have a potential long entry here on Amazon of a flag break, right? I would want to wait for the close over 140 or some kind of very strong confirmation above it because there has been a lot of pops that get sold into, right? And you don't want to be a part of that. So the 4-hour flag is interesting, right? The 136.50 hold is interesting. The possibility of an upside squeeze is interesting here, but I think you need to wait till 140 breaks, all right? Google is another one that's been sort of maintaining here. And Google has been maintaining previous highs, right? So you can see right here, you had that earnings pop on Google, and ever since that earnings pop, you continue to hold this previous 129 high, right? Previous 129 high. You guys can see right there, turn into support, turn into support, turn into support, 129. So, as long as we're over that 129 level on Google, right, you guys can see that's a pretty solid level to hold. And I would be monitoring to see if that can maintain that level moving forward. I'm not saying that I would be too aggressive on the long side here because you can clearly see it's just a channel for now. But this is Amazon and Google, I would say, are just two to sort of maintain and to monitor, right? If we do get upside on the market, I would first, right, the first thing I would do is flip to Amazon and flip to Google if we do see any upside on the market, because I know those two have been relatively strong versus other tech names. So just keep those in mind. AMD 100 SMA. This is some big stuff here today. AMD has been really weak, stuck in this sideways channel. You're into this 106 demand, which has been very heavy in the past. 106, little double bottom, and you're into it again today. 106 on AMD. This is a big potential hold level on AMD at 106. If we go to the 15-minute chart, right? Look at what AMD has done, though, right? So you guys can see right here. 106. What else is there? 100 SMA, right? 100 SMA. You guys can see right here. 106, 100 SMA. That's going to be a big level here, right? AMD, this is a major watch. Let's see what happens here at this 106, that 100 SMA. We can clearly see the previous lows turning into rejections, right? Look at what happened on Friday. We see previous Wednesday's lows into Friday highs, right? Look how clean that was, right? Look how clean that was. If you can maybe look for a re-entry, right? If you're going to short, I would say re-entry shorts at 108, 109. Look for that previous low to turn into rejections again. That's a better potential rejection at 108, 109, right? But if you can break, right? If you can break that 100 SMA, that 106 level, there might be some more down below, but just pay attention to that 106, 108. I'm sorry, that 106, 100 SMA, all right? Apple pretty much doing something very similar here. We go to the 15-minute on Apple, and you guys can see, right? Look at this 100 SMA. Same exact story here on Apple. 100 SMA right here around that 177. You guys can see support stepping up, support stepping up, support stepping up. So if we get that 100 SMA break, if we start to stay under that 177 and 100 SMA, there might be more here on Apple. Just be careful of being short into it. Right? We don't want to be front running a short into the 100 SMA and a triple bottom, right? No one should think that being short here is a good idea because you're just shorting right into a triple bottom. You're shorting right into 100 SMA demand. That's not a good idea, right? We're not going to front run that. If we get a break below it, if we hold below it, if we get confirmation, then it becomes a very good idea. That's something I would be watching. Last one I got for you here today, guys, is Microsoft. And I just want to point out Microsoft because this is also a very important level for Microsoft. There is some big levels that are being tested here. 320, right? Why is 320 so important on Microsoft? Well, it's a 4-hour previous low, right? It's about the last previous low since this little, like this shelf, right? You see this shelf that was formed here? 320, 320, and you're right back at it, 320. And it's also going to be very close to that 100 SMA as well. So you got Apple, you got AMD, you got Microsoft at some huge crucial levels here. Microsoft 320 today. And you can see, right, you can see how it reacted on Friday at that 320. It really wanted to hold it. So keep an eye on that Microsoft 320 as well. If you start to see weakness underneath that, could be interesting, but also very potential hold level. So Microsoft 320 is big. Apple 177, right? AMD 106 today, and AMD's looking really weak to start. Nvidia, right? If we break this 405 on Nvidia, that could be a very nice little setup today. Keep an eye on that 405. And I think the top watch is just going to be Tesla. But I want morning pops, right? I want a pop to fade on Tesla. I don't want to just fade Tesla at the lows. I still want these fake pops. Right? If we get a push on Tesla into the morning, that would be great. Looking for that push back into 240. Let's see what happens there. All right. That's all I got, right? That's all I got. NASDAQ, be careful being short into the lows. Be careful being short into 15,000 on the SPY, right? Remember 444, right? 444. That's your big level on the SPY this week. You need to see what happens at 444. This is still, I'm not going to say it's not possible. This is still possibly a long entry on SPY, right? It's still possible. There's still if there was still a percent chance, it is definitely not zero, right? It is definitely not zero that this could be the next long entry on the SPY. So stay open to both sides here, right? If the SPY stays over to 444, right? If the SPY stays over 444, there is still possibility of that becoming a long entry. So that's the watch. All right, guys. I hope you have a fantastic day. If you could, press the like button for me before you head out. We got 1,700 people here, 500 likes. I would like to try to get to 1,000 likes. With your help, it's possible. Need to get the streams going. They're very consistent, but I want to get them growing. So if you guys could help me continue to grow them, all it takes is you to have some, all it needs is some engagement, man. So your comments, your likes, your subscriptions, all helps a lot. If you guys could, it's free to be here. And I don't see why pressing the like button is so difficult. So if you could do that, that would be great. Time to hit the arena. I hope you're talking about the dock arena. Violence, speed, momentum. All right, guys, have a fantastic day. Yeah. And I will see you guys, Palantir, next stream, man. I got you. Tomorrow on Saturday stream, Palantir on Saturday. All right, guys, have a fantastic day. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.